Hi, I'm Rachel, horticulturalist at Lawn Thumbs, and I want to show you how to prune some roses. Roses are very susceptible to disease, so it's important to prune them and clean out the center of the plant each year to help airflow, and that circulation to the plant helps reduce the disease potential. The best time to prune roses is right now. Late February through March is my rule of thumb. The reason being is the rose is just barely coming out of dormancy. We can see these brand new leaves coming out. The plant has not expended all of its energy in producing new branches and new leaves. We're not wasting that precious resource by pruning it now. We also like pruning it while we can see what's alive. And so as I'm pruning it, I can see, oh, this branch is alive. If I cut it here, then the plant will know to extend this into a branch. What you need for rose pruning. I always just bring a tarp, loppers, and hand trimmers. A little shovel might also be helpful in cleaning out the base of the rose bushes. I always use bypass pruners, and that just means that the blade passes to the side like that instead of pinching. I don't ever like to pinch the branches of the shrubs. I've got my tools. I'm just gonna keep this one handy. I like to reach in with this to grab the branches and throw them onto my tarp so I don't have to grab them with my hands. Every time that I prune a rose, I'm thinking, what do I want to keep? Because I'm going to get rid of a lot of branches when I'm pruning roses. I want to clear out the whole center, and then I'm going to cut it down about to the height of my knee. And at each of the canes that I keep, I'm going to find a lateral branch that I know is alive. It may not be a branch yet. It may just be a bud. So, for example, right here, this bud is about knee height, and it's pointing away from the center of the plant, which is important. So I will probably cut this one right here. I look for 5 to 7 canes that are about pencil width and pointing away from the center of the rose bush. And so this one has about that many. I may not cut very many out of this one. There's one here that looks dead that I'll take out. So I'm gonna cut out all the dead and just leave 7 branches pointing out. I'm gonna cut this one off that's pointing towards the center. Sometimes you can just snap those dead ones off. Now I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 canes. Now I just have to choose lateral buds to trim them to. So we decided we like this one right here. That one, that's a good one. It looks like I've got several separate plants here. 1, 2, 3 maybe separate plants, but because they're all grouped together, I'm gonna treat them like they're one, because the branching is what I'm worried about. I don't want all the branches from this one intertwining with the branches of this one and causing an area where the plant can become diseased. Roses are actually my favorite thing to prune because it's just so, the rules are just so easy. Clear out the center, leave 7 canes, and as long as you've done that, you've done it right. I'm actually going to take off this one because it's taking up the same space as this other rose bush, and we don't need them to occupy the same space as each other. I'm keeping this one, but I don't need to keep everything that's coming off of it. So I'm going to take the one that's going towards the center. That one in the center will stop airflow, so I want to get it out of there. They sell nice long leather rose pruning gloves, but I just feel like they're so inhibitive, like I can't maneuver with them on. So I prefer just not to wear gloves. when I'm pruning roses. Okay, it's starting to look a little more bare. In pruning, you never cut in between nodes. You cut right above a node, and what that does is tells the plant that you want it to make that into a branch. So for example, I want this bud to be a main branch coming off, and so I trim off right above it, and that tells the bush to go ahead and send its energy through that bud. This is a branch that has been cut, not at a node. And so see how it has died all the way from here to where it attaches. If you cut right above a node, it won't do that. Pruning is done on this one. You can see how much emptier it looks. That is really important for that airflow. The last thing I'll want to do is take care of the ground area and just clean out the interior of this plant so that any pathogens on the leaves down here aren't going to contaminate our rose. This one has a lot of dead in it, so I just have to be kind of careful as I'm removing the dead that I'm not taking out dead that also has live branches coming off of it, because sometimes they look the same. Okay, you can tell if it's alive if it's got new buds. This is alive, it's green, it has buds. This is dead. Like if it has bark falling off of it, it's dead. You probably noticed I had to approach each rose bush a little differently because each rose bush grows a little differently. And so as you're pruning, you have to play it by ear, and that's normal. So we're done pruning. If your roses look like this, then you're off to a good start. Your plants are ready for blooming in the summer. Subscribe to the Long Thumbs YouTube channel for more horticulture tips. Can you stop talking? It's my turn.